The only thing that can stop Nigeria from achieving its dream is we, the masses.
If Nigerians were to sit down and have a realistic reflection with themselves, they would see that you share a religion with someone who is stealing in government does not enrich you. That you speak the same language with a corrupt politician does not get you ahead. And so that religion and that ethnicity for me is a weapon in the hands of the elite to manipulate and control support for themselves.
My dream of Nigeria is having a leader that have got the people's interest at heart, not personal interest, not selfish interest.
To state that Nigeria is endowed with enormous natural and human resources is like stating the obvious. Interestingly, nations across the world are built by the dreams of their founding fathers. Looking at the reality of Nigeria after 62 years of independence, we have questions to ask and to answer. What is the Nigerian dream? Does Nigeria actually have the dream? If it does, what then is the Nigerian dream? Are we living the dream? And if we are not, then what happened to the Nigerian dream? My name is Ambassador Gabriel Ashibi, aka Paparazzi. From here, I'm going to reach out to people to seek opinions, what they think is a Nigerian dream, and what is their opinion of where we are coming from, and where we are going. Whatever it is, what actually happened to the Nigerian dream? Join me as we reach Nigerians to seek their opinions. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Okay, my name is Paparazzi. Can I meet you, sir?
My name is Laza P.
All right, okay. We are on the streets trying to debate on the Nigerian reality. A lot of people have the impression that our reality is far away from what Nigeria is supposed to be. And that begins to make us question that with this reality, with all that God has blessed Nigeria, is this where we're supposed to be? What do you think is your opinion? Is there anything called the Nigerian dream?
Right now, it's very difficult to say we have a dream, or at least it's not known to an average Nigerian. Because if you look at the political class and the directions they go, I say directions very carefully because they don't seem to be going in one direction. The various directions they are going do not seem to be in harmony with what the demographics of Nigeria say. That Nigeria is a country basically of young people. How do you relate the directions that our political class have taken to the aspirations of the young people? There is no harmony in that. So to that extent, it's difficult for me to say there is a Nigerian dream.
Okay, now before independence, our founding fathers came together, clamored, struggled to seek for independence. Did they have a dream?
They did have. First, you would see that there was a very high level of patriotism. They could sit down and disagree to agree, and they would agree and then move on to agitate for self-rule because they felt they had the resources to govern, for self-governance. And they achieved that. They achieved that against all odds because they were negotiating at the table with colonial masters that were more educated than they were. But they were able to make sense of it and return governance into the hands of Nigerians. And it was in that age you could see a patriot like Sir Tafawa Balewa will be given a position that he was more qualified. It is at that time that you could see an elderly statesman step aside for a younger patriotic Nigerian to take the seat at the table. And if you look at the average age of almost all the nationalists that we had, most of them were young people who worked with this elderly statesman to give us that independence. And beyond that independence, they continued to make sacrifices for this country. They were very strong at the regional level, and that did not limit them coming together at the center when the need arises.
So as it is now, it's about 62 years down the line of Nigeria as an independent country. Our dream of the founding fathers, their regional resolve, the goals, and building a nation of power to lead Africa. What do you think happened to the Nigerian dream?
I think there was a very strong resolve during the close to 30 years of repressive military rule by a certain population of Nigerians to return Nigeria back to a democracy. And again, with that struggle, we could see, or you can infer, that there was again unity of purpose. And as soon as that was about to be achieved in 98, I think that's where we got the crack. A lot of people were not very sure that this democracy, that the transition program that was rolled out by the Abdul Salam Abubakar leadership was coming to stay. And so there was some questionable level of participation from the right quarters. I say questionable because a lot of people, the current political class that we have today, emerged from participation in the 1999 transition. And that political class have completely misled Nigeria. So today, people who became governors in 1999 have become the new political class that is controlling this country. But they are controlling and leading this country to where? Currently, we have become a country of young people. But show me one national policy or program that is leading young Nigerians, breaking them out of poverty. On an incremental basis, we're having more people descend into poverty than get out of poverty. Now, when you compare that to the situation you have in the Asian nations, where we see statistics of 100 young Chinese have become millionaires. And then in Nigeria, you hear 133 million Nigerians have grown poorer. So you can clearly tell that they are not leading, the political class is not leading Nigeria towards any dream. There is a complete departure from whatever we could conjure as a Nigerian dream. So right now what we have is, we have a political class that is obsessed with amassing wealth for themselves and their families.
If you were opportune to be in a political class as it is, what do you think would be your ideal Nigerian dream?
My ideal Nigerian dream is in summary, is very simple, is to build a functional Nigeria where if you are a dancer, you are a musician, you are an athlete, you are a banker, you are a trained doctor or an artisan, the system is so functional that whatever your skill or talent is, you are able to break out of, build wealth for yourself, improve your life and that of your family, and build something that contributes further to the Nigerian dream of having a functional nation. So for me, it's all about functionality of the country.
You started by saying that the regional government did very well, and that was collectively a plus for Nigeria. But do you think tribalism and religious intolerance is a big negative effect on the Nigerian dream?
Absolutely, but again, how about we say it's become a weapon? We have a political class that is very comfortable to weaponize religion and tribalism or ethnicity. So if a corrupt politician gets an office, he will never show you how many people of his religion or ethnic group he has lifted out of poverty. But the moment EFCC or any of the anti-graft agencies come after him, he cries, and then his people stand up. They are doing this to us. It's because we are this tribe that they are doing this to us. They are doing this to me because it's of this religion. And this politician who knows in his heart of heart that he stole this money will ride on that sentiment. He will, even his own people will even fuel protests that will loud that narrative. And then when all the dust is settled, they will still go with the money. The people who are claiming to be of the same religion and ethnicity with them will go back to being poor. So if Nigerians were to sit down and have a realistic reflection with themselves, they would see that you share a religion with someone who is stealing in government does not enrich you. That you speak the same language with a corrupt politician does not get you ahead. And so that religion and that ethnicity for me is a weapon in the hands of the elite to manipulate and control support for themselves.
My name is Edward.
Edward, thank you for being on Impact TV. In 1960, Nigeria got independence. Our founding fathers struggled so hard to make sure that we can rule ourselves. When they were coming together, do you think there was a Nigerian dream?
In all honesty, for them to come up with an idea like that, there was a dream, and they were trying to follow up on the dream.
What do you think was the Nigerian dream?
Basically, to make Nigeria a better place, to put us on the apex, rub shoulders with other countries at the top.
Where we are today, do you think their dream is a reality?
No, it's not. We lost our way along the line.
So what do you think happened to the Nigerian dream?
Well, you see, in life, there's something they call yin and yang, good and bad. But then we have to find a balance. We lost it. Greed came into place. People are now trying to enrich their pockets, which is not supposed to be. And if things are to get better, we have to go back to the drawing board. It's not about the people we elect as presidents or senators or ministers or governors. It's about us, because those people that are presidents today, governors, senators, and ministers, they started from somewhere. And I think, I know, the orientation they got then is what has pushed them to that level. So as it stands, I'm still saying it without talking too much. Go back to the drawing board. Flush out the bad eggs. Let's start all over. It is achievable. The only thing that can stop Nigeria from achieving its dream is we, the masses.
Wow, that sounds very fantastic. Now, do you see ethnicity and tribalism as one of the major forces that is stopping the Nigerian dream?
It is not supposed to be, but it is. I mean, right now we're having a Muslim ticket, which is not what used to be in the first place. So yes, it is one of the factors affecting us right now. Note, like I said earlier on, people have their own personal interests now compared to having the interest of the masses.
Now Nigeria is considered as the poverty capital of the world. Terrorism has entered.
True.
And we are really, really sad because of the depletion of the Nigerian dream. Finally, what do you think should be done for Nigeria to get better, for the sake of our children and the next generation?
We are about to conduct an election to elect the next president of this country. We're hoping for the best man to win. Not just the best man, someone who will drive us. So whoever we're voting for has to be someone who understands the masses, who understands the problems we are facing in the country, and he's ready, because it is not going to be an easy road. There will be forces against him. But then, if you're saying, oh, APC, PDP, Labour Party, may the best man win. That's just basically, but like we said, whoever wants to take Nigeria back to its glory days has to go back to the drawing board.
Do you see any possibility of Nigeria making it as a nation?
In all fairness and honesty, it's going to be a difficult one, but it is possible. Like I said earlier on, the only limiting factor that will not allow us to make it as a nation is we the masses, if we vote wrongly. Someone cannot just come to you and start offering you money, agbado ewa, and say you want to become, no, come on. We need to be enlightened. We need to go back and reorientate ourselves. People need to know what is happening so they can vote right. Before we can get back to a better place.
Thank you very much, my brother. It's nice having you.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
May God bless Nigeria.
Bless you too. Bless
Thank
Nigeria.
you.
One nation.
All right. Hello, how are you? My name is Paparazzi, and we are here today to talk about our nation, Nigeria, where we are, where we came from, and where we're going. What's the name?
Good afternoon. My name is Hajia Halima.
Hajia Halima. Nice meeting you. Okay. My first question to you is that before 1960, our leaders came together to fight for independence, to build the Nigerian dream. Do you think we are living the Nigerian dream?
Capital no, I don't think so. To the best of my knowledge, I think our forefathers were up to unity. You know, their focus, their vision was one united Nigeria, but it's the other way around, I guess. You know, it's like a situation of all man for himself now. Everyone's siphoning Nigerian resources to just to favor themselves or family. Probably the conscience is dead. Everything is just turned upside down.
Wow, that is touching. So, what are the areas you think that Nigeria is failing?
Number one for me is the structure. You know, I think some structures are dead that we actually need to reawaken. You know, we have to really know, to define a clear definition of a nation. What do we understand by a nation? If we say a nation, okay, what are those things that are supposed to put in place? What are the natural resources that Nigeria is blessed with? How do we harness them to the benefits of everyone?
Do you think that tribalism and religion is affecting the Nigerian dream?
Very well, sir. Very well. Because just like I said, dates back to the days of our forefathers. Who are you? That like you're a Christian, you're a Muslim, you're an Hausa, you're one. We are one. That was the watchword. We are one. So if we can sit back and relax, is it all about religion? Is it all about tribe? So far you're black, so far you're in Nigeria, you have access to everything.
What is your Nigerian dream?
My dream of Nigeria is having a leader that have got conscience, that have got of our heart, that have got the people's interest at heart, not personal interest, not selfish interest. A selfless leader who is ready to serve wholeheartedly. That is my dream, Paparazzi.
Okay, my name is Sam. Okay, Sam, you recall that many years ago, the founding fathers of Nigeria had a dream, and I'm not sure, but I will appreciate if you let us in on what you think. Do you think we are living the Nigerian dream?
Okay, like you just said, it's a dream, and there's a saying that says a dream becomes reality when you wake up. So I think it becomes a dream when we keep sleeping, and until we wake up, that's when it becomes a reality. So the Nigerian state is in comatose, and it actually remains a dream. For as long as we keep sleeping, it becomes a dream until we wake up. Thank you.
Wow, this is interesting. So, but do you think it's a dream? I agree. Do you think something is wrong with the dream?
Like it's the Nigeria. Let us even talk about Nigeria. It's they say it's a blended word, Niger and area. Now, for an area, for it to become something that could come into what we think about it, then there's a step that needs to be taken. Yeah, our founding fathers actually had this step written down. They had it like a target and a goal. But it's just that I think there was a failure at one point, and the point is transfer of the goal or their intention about what they feel Nigeria should be, what they see Nigeria to become. And at that point, because there was no transfer of knowledge and there was no transfer of vision, and that was when it began to deteriorate. So at this state that we are in now, it is a state whereby we need to begin to go back to when the founding fathers, what they actually had in plan about the place called Niger and area. So as soon as we are able to go back to it, like in my faith, being Christianity, there is something in Hebrews chapter 6 verse 1 which says, faith is the substance of things hoped for and evidence of things not seen. Now what faith can do is that faith can project you to the future and see, you imagine what the future is now. And the same faith also can actually take you to the past. Like for example, when someone say, by his stripe I am healed. This stripe happened in the past. So the person is actually keying into the past and trying to believe that the past can actually bring healing now. So the same thing also, when we can take ourselves to the projection from the past, understand the framework and all of the structure that our founding fathers has laid down, then we can now use that as a master plan into ensuring that we can make that dream become a reality.
Thank you. This is another perspective to it. So you have practically answered the question. Actually, I should have asked, but how do you think we should move forward, going forward, to actualize this dream?
Yes. And you know, they say there is something about goal. It has to be smart. It has to be specific. It has to be measurable. It has to be realistic. It has to be time-bound. And these are principles that we can actually also apply. So this is what, when we know that we have a specific thing we want to achieve about Nigeria, which is as top priority, we need to say, okay, what is the time frame that so that is having a master plan. So one thing is, when we can have a master plan about what we want Nigeria should be like, then we can use the principle of the SMART techniques in achieving a goal. By that, we now have a framework, because they say if you really don't know where you are going to, you should know where you are coming from. And like in GPS, now if for example now I order a boat, now there's a technology that the boat guy only needs to use a GPS technology like Google Map, and he uses that to trace my location. Now what happens is that there are two things involved. There's what we call coordinates. There's the latitude and the longitude. So if we can actually have a latitude coordinate and longitude coordinates that can take us to where we want Nigeria should be, then it becomes so easy for us. So we can use that as a map and follow the route into tracing or getting to the destination that we really want Nigeria should be. And that destination is success, not failure. That destination is what we've seen Nigeria should be like. Nigeria should be prosperous. Nigeria should be free of corruption. Nigeria should grow. Nigeria should have infrastructures. Nigeria should become a place where nobody wants to japa. Nigeria should be a place where a son of nobody can actually work with a son of somebody. Thank you very much.
Summarily, what's your Nigerian dream?
In summary, my Nigeria dream, like as a person, if I were to become the president of Nigeria, what will I do? First and foremost, I would have a direction. There is something in physics they call scalar and vector. Now, scalar means that there is no direction, but vector quantities they have direction. So Nigeria becomes a vector quantity to me. I see that, okay, my Nigeria is a Nigeria that I would go to a private hospital, I will go to a public hospital, and I will have a private feeling. My Nigeria is a place where I can take 10 naira to the market and I can get something to eat. Because the Nigeria of today is a Nigeria where you have 1,000 naira and it's nothing to you. In short, as a matter of fact, if you hold 1,000 naira, in short, if you hold 1 million naira like 6 years ago, you look at yourself like a very big person. But that 1 million naira as of today, as a matter of fact, it is like a rent of where you are actually taking this video now. If you want to pay for a rent in this axis, in this environment, you are going to have an approximate value of 1 million to 1.2. That's a comfortable place. Now, the Nigeria I want, or my Nigeria I want, I'm envisaging to be, is a Nigeria whereby I can sleep with my both eyes closed. It's a Nigeria whereby I can have 3 square meal, at least 3 square meal. It's a Nigeria whereby if I see an expensive item on the floor, I can return it to the owner. It's a Nigeria where if I forget my item in a vehicle, this person would look out for the closest radio station or a TV station that can make an announcement, and I can get my property. So Nigeria, it's something I know that one day we are going to achieve that Nigeria. The Nigeria we are seeing today is actually not the Nigeria of our dreams, but somehow, someday, collective effort, if every one of us can take it up as a responsibility, not just leaving to our leaders alone, we take up this as a responsibility, and the responsibility now is our PVC. So our PVC is very important, and this is the only way we can actually use this to ensure that we can take Nigeria to the destination we want it to be. Thank you.
My name is Michael.
Oh, Michael, sure, how far now?
Fine, sir.
This your fish, they smell for my nose, so.
That's what everybody talk.
Because people like say they enjoy Nigeria. This country, you like her like this?
Enjoy waiting. So this way, I beg my God, this one we carry out. I will say how it's well.
So as Nigeria be now, how you see them? Nigeria, they go forward, I mean they go backwards.
My God. They go back.
They go back.
Well, sir.
Why now? What happened?
My God, everything don't change. See this small fish what they say for, if I tell you how much what they buy before we had it, and the amount we are they buy now. Talking of fuel, no day, even transport. My God, it's like you can't make me invest safe.
No,
I invest with Nigeria.
No, okay, I understand you. So as you be now, so what do you think say go happen when Nigeria for better?
Make them change. All those our old men, we need to come out them for chair. Make young people do the PS.
You like Nigeria?
Now my country, now I don't go like.
If they give you visa, go America now, you will go.
I'll make I see the visa first.
So, but with Nigeria better, you go or you know go.
And if Nigeria better, make I leave Nigeria go outside country say what's happen.
Nice one. Nice one. So your own prayer be saying Nigeria do okay. Okay, as you be now, so waiting be your Nigerian dream. Which kind of country you want?
Me na Nigeria na me I be. I want still be Nigeria. But all the thing with me I want to see me Nigeria better.
Make waiting day.
Make everything, oil, road, lights, make everything day.
Make you no go the.
Yes.
Nice one. You go better. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.